Greetings, WHAP Warriors. Brad Anderson here, just guiding you through today's activities. It's a Wednesday writing workshop, and we're going to be focusing in on the document-based question response, the DBQ. And I just want to run you very quickly through these elements. We've done this once before. If you go to the Google Classroom page, I have attached the documents and the document-based question. I've attached the DBQ template form for your convenience. You can either just look at it digitally, you can copy it out, or print it out and use it as is, or just look at it as you go to write your draft. So let's talk about the document-based question essay. Here is your prompt today, and this will be on the document that is attached. You're going to want to open that, maybe have that open in an opposite tab. Evaluate the extent to which railroads affected the process of empire building in Afro-Eurasia between 1860 and 1918. So you're going to be drawing upon some of your knowledge that you've learned over the past several days in class, but also, mostly important, is you're going to be looking at the documents to craft your essay. So let's take a look at the elements of the DBQ. Here is my tried and true formula for success. Let me move my head here. Tried and true formula for success. First, contextualize, situate within the broader historical context. I'm going to give you a hint here. We know between 1816 and 1918, there's an industrial revolution going on. The United States fights a large civil war. There's a process of imperialism going on in Africa, in Southeast Asia, in the Pacific. So those would be all items that you would want to include when you contextualize, and then linking it, of course, to the process of empire building in Afro-Eurasia. Thesis. Use the formula. Although X, AB, therefore Y. We'll go over that in just a moment. A will become your first body paragraph topic sentence. Use 3 documents to support that topic sentence. IP each document, and I do that a little bit of overkill. In an actual DBQ, all you have to do is provide one, either the I, the P, or the P, the intended audience, the purpose, or the point of view. For the purposes of training, I like to do all elements for each document, and that way it is a little bit of building your writing stamina, and it's just good practice and insurance. Then B is your second body paragraph topic sentence. You will then use 3 of the documents to support that topic sentence. You will then source each document for the I, the P, or the P, the intended audience, purpose, or point of view. And then the third body paragraph is evidence beyond the documents. You use your knowledge. You draw upon that deep well of historical knowledge to explain your thesis and tie in evidence from beyond the docs. All right, and you have your textbooks at home, you have your notes, you have the various cultural supplements that we've watched, and I point you in that direction for helping you with the evidence beyond the docs. But of course, when you write your DBQ on the actual exam, it'll have to come from up here. And then, of course, use specific evidence, and then your conclusion is restating your thesis in a new and different way. So let's look at this further. Just a little bit of going back over it. The context, provide historical context and link it up. So ask yourself what's going on in the period 1750 to 1900. Actually, it's more or less 1860 to 1917, right in that time period. So that is more or less where you want to kind of focus your contextualization. Thesis is X is your strongest counter argument. A is your first defensible historical claim and will become the topic sentence of your first body paragraph. B is your second defensible historical claim. Make sure those two are in agreement. Do not make one statement that contradicts the other statement. A and B should be in agreement. X is the counter argument. X is the counter argument. A and B should be in agreement, but obviously different points that you will then go on and use the documents to support. Y is your position, your definitive position. The Afro-Eurasian railroads served largely as a major reason for the advancements in imperialism during this time period. Don't steal that. It's off the top of my head, but certainly you make that statement, you make it clear, you make it bold, and then your A and your B are going to go on to prove that statement, which is The prompt: evaluate the extent to which railroads affected the process of empire building in Afro-Eurasia between 1860 and 1918. And if you're going, oh, Mr. Anderson, I don't know much about this topic, that's okay. The beauty behind the DBQ is that use the documents. You virtually don't have to have, much knowledge on it at all. Obviously, you need some for the evidence beyond the docs, but when you go to write your DBQ essay, you're using the documents to write the essay. So read through the documents carefully, and that will help you craft your essay. So right here, using the documents, create a T-chart, as we've done before, to organize your documents that agree with one another and would support your specific statement. So you're going to go through and go, okay, what documents are going to are in agreement with one another and are going to support that particular point in my thesis, B, etc. So you're going to want to use the T-chart document. Obviously, today I'm backing off a little bit and giving you a little bit more freedom. I'm not going to walk you through and I'm not going to write your thesis for you. Today, that's on you. So and remember, your thesis writes the paper. Spend a good chunk of time properly writing a good, specific thesis, and then your essay just writes itself. You're plugging in documents, you're sourcing documents, you're providing evidence beyond the doc in body paragraph 3. Voila, huzzah, you're good to go. So that is your task today. What you're going to want to do right now is you're going to want to close this out. You're going to want to click on the Google Classroom page, go to the link that has the documents and the elements of the essay that you want. You're going to want to maybe open on a different tab on Google Classroom the DBQ template, Mr. Anderson template. It has the scoring guide in the upper right-hand corner. In fact, let's go to it right now. This is what, when you go to open it, this is going to be the imperialism document. And again, suggested writing time, 1 hour. You're going to want to look over the documents for about 15 minutes. Here's your documents that you're going to look over and use. And then if you go to the Google Classroom, you see the writing workshop post, you go to the DBQ template, it'll open it up for you, and there you go. So 1 point for contextualization, 1 point for your thesis, 2 points for 6 docs used, 1 point for evidence beyond the docs. I'm going to actually change that. 1 point for IPPing, at least 3 documents, and 1 point for demonstrating complex understanding for a score of 7. And there you go. You can print that off if you want to, but here's where you're going to hand it in. You're going to hand it in to me on your next in-person day, and it's going to be handwritten on, either college ruled or wide ruled, I don't care, paper, and you will be having a peer review and peer edit with at least 2 fellow classmates who will read over and will be looking and helping score your essay. Okay, and you'll be handing it in for credit, but also for accuracy in following the AP scoring guide. So good luck. You can stop this. You can look back on this video for your convenience, and I wish you well. Good luck.